7 Lassie-built Octopus with 21-foot arms, and the word seemed to have got around that Launceston Steam Railway knows what it's doing when it comes to repairs on these things, so this one came home to roost. It's the ex-Tom Benson machine, Benson's Amusements up in Dorking, and it was built for them in 1961 by Hayes Fabrications, to the same design as the American ones. I think the design of these goes back to about the mid-30s, and the first one was seen in England in 37. They've been pretty much out of favour in England because they're rather a slow money taker, but they also have a reputation for being a very steady money taker, and a lot of them have found gainful employment over in Ireland. This one we've rebuilt. It came to us with a badly cracked up plain bearing here in the centre, which we've rebuilt. And we've also, while we were at it, reconditioned all the trunnion bearings and various other bits and pieces, and put new bearings in the clutch shaft, rebuilt the clutches and brakes. So it's now a very serviceable machine. It's got all the current safety requirements, including the strain wires along the pull rods, just in case any of the clevis pins should let go, which they never do if they're carefully examined and kept greased. And also the anti-sway chains in the centre, which have been fitted to these pretty steadily since about 1959. The cars have been reskinned recently, although the current paint scheme is a bit drab. The most significant thing to have happened to the machine, like all of them, it was built on a 1940s World War II searchlight trailer, which was a good build-up, but it did mean that you were having to tow 2 trailers, one full of all the arms and bits and pieces, and another one consisting of the centre truck. This one has been pretty expertly built onto a large swivelling 4-carriage 6-wheel trailer, which I think we might as well, Jonathan, go and have a look at. This is a pretty modern road-going trailer, 6-wheeler, swivelling 4-carriage. The whole ride is extremely easy to level up. 2 props underneath the axles, and put out the stabilisers which swing out, no heavy carrying. The most joyful feature of all, and it's been pretty well done on this one, is that the arms are erected into place using hydraulics. And there's a couple of hydraulic rams which carry each arm. They're worked off a 12-volt battery with a hydraulic pump. And Ivor Davey and I built this one up. We put on 7 arms the other afternoon in between cups of tea. The previous owner assures me that it could be built up by 2 people in 3 to 4 hours. And I would think that's absolutely right. The only thing that's been sacrificed really with this means of construction is that in order to stow away the fences, which are a pretty large part of it, the fences are austerely simple, but I think that's a small price to pay for a machine of this type. This one has got a modern lighting system on. There's all manner of flashing lights around the pay box end, and fairly simple lighting on the pull arms. I don't know that I'd do it quite that way, and I think anybody else would probably have their own ideas on decorations. We want to sell this machine because, as I say, it came here because it was looking for a good home and some repairs, and I couldn't really bear not to do it. Here, the main drive is 110 volt DC. One of the great disadvantages of that from the commercial point of view is without wasting a lot of power in resistances, it's impossible to run the machine slowly. So if you run them at the speed that the teenagers like, it won't be popular with the mums and kids in the afternoon. This one has got on, and it's not included with the deal, but one could probably be produced at a very reasonable cost, a device called a Ward-Leonard set. And the power input is not a couple of hefty cables, it's an extremely light lead like you'd find on a domestic kettle. Most showmen can't see how this is possible, but this is 440 volts AC, heavily commercial AC electricity. If I run up the converter, you'll see that it's possible to inch the machine round extremely slowly. And believe it or not, it would be possible to run the machine all day like that, on almost zero energy consumption, and without anything getting hot or distressed. It truly does give infinitely variable speed. Jonathan, if you want to come across, we'll have a quick look at the clutches as well. My experience of Octopus rides is that many of them are in a pretty ruinous state around the clutches, of which of course there's two for the two motion. They're in fact very simple, but always dramatically misadjusted and misunderstood. This one we've put back to rights, and it's absolutely perfect. We've replaced the bearings at each end of the shaft, which were a bit rumbly, checked out all the clutches, remachined a few bits and pieces, repositioned a few bits and pieces, and it does work genuinely properly. As far as I can see, this is a machine with no hidden snags at all. It's got safety catches on the cars, which I forgot to mention earlier, and I think we'll get a clean bill of health absolutely anywhere. It's also a machine which of course is getting on for its 50th birthday, and like steam locomotives, about which I have rather too much to do, this is a machine which, because it's built on sound engineering principles, it can be kept running absolutely forever. With just normal greasing and painting, a machine like this will certainly see its 100th birthday.